Hey y'all, I just wanted to do a check-in, let y'all know that I am doing okay. I have my struggles, but baby, I'm grateful to be in the land of the living. And I just have a few little thought pieces that I want to share with y'all. Let's talk about the triple D's. The triple D's are desperation, delusional, disobedience, which leads to idolatry. You know, when I got with my narcissistic ex-husband, the red flags was there, but that's who I wanted. That's who I settled for. My self-esteem was low, 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 and you could not have told me that I had low self-esteem. God had to reveal that to me. There were several instances, red flags, violent situations, lack, and things like that happened with being with this man. But that's what I wanted. I was desperate and delusional to think that I'm going to choose this man and then God gonna come in and fix my problems. Now, I didn't think that in the beginning, but when it hit the fan, I wanted God to come fix this problem, this decision that I made on my own, ignoring God. I wanted him to fix it. But it never got better. Even when God would give me dreams of this man, I've never once had a good dream with him. And I was with him for 7 years. And in my desperation and being straight up delusional, it led to disobedience. I was so far from God. I mean, let's be honest. I didn't know him like that at the time, but I knew he existed. I knew him, but I didn't know him, if that makes sense. I didn't really get to know God for who he was until January 24, 2016, when that man that I was so desperate for, delusional behind, and walking in disobedience with, left me for another woman who had 3 kids. During that time, it was always about him. Always about him. If he wasn't creating chaos and I was trying to put out the flames to the chaos that he caused, it was me trying to please him. My life literally centered around this man. I was in full idolatry, in complete idolatry. God was not number one in my life. This nigga was. And I was not reaping any type of benefits that I wanted to reap. All I got was turmoil, chaos, confusion, unusual, unnecessary spiritual warfare. I had idolatry really, really bad when it came to the people that I loved. I didn't realize how I was caught up in idolatry until January 24, 2016, when I tried to get drunk and couldn't get drunk. God kept me sober. When I tried to call my homegirl Keisha, she couldn't provide me comfort. And when I finally said yes to God, when he was calling me for 2 years, and it just dawned on me, not only was I out here giving demonic wisdom, because, you know, the gifts that God has given you, when you are of this world, the enemy will have you out here using God's gift that's supposed to give him glory, glorifying the world. And when you use his gifts to glorify the world, you know you glorifying Satan, right? I just call it a spade, baby. I can't give it to you another way, but just straight shooter. But even in my conversations, most of my conversations was just about this man. I spoke more about this man than I spoke about my kids. He was taking me through hell. I wanted our relationship to work. I wanted our marriage to work. Baby, I was that Christian woman who stood for my marriage, prayed and fasted while he was out here in a full affair. And I was blaming the devil for everything. The devil after my husband. The devil after my husband. No, my husband had a free will, and this is what he chose to do. And God had to really break that religious, misogynistic mindset off of me to set me free. And I read the Bible, and I see why God told the children of Israelites that I'm giving you this place that's flowing with milk and honey, and not to become accustomed to their neighbors. You know, he was going to get rid of them little by little, because if he got rid of them all at once, there would be too many animals in the camp or on the land then, and they wouldn't be able to fight all those animals off. So that's why God was going to get rid of them little by little. And the reason why he did not want the Israelites to deal with the Canaanites, the Jebusites, and whoever else was in the land, because they were idolatrous people. They worshiped false gods. And God knew that if the children of Israel was to get close to their neighbors, that it was going to be a big possibility that they were going to follow in their ways, become idolatrous, and want to mix in the true living God with these false gods. And God was not pleased. And that is why it's so important that when you want a thing, and it could come from a genuine place, that you keep it at the feet of God. That if this happened for me, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. God, I trust you and I trust your will. Because when you become desperate, you become lustful for that thing, and delusional. You just telling yourself these lies. You letting the enemy feed you these lies, that this is going to work out, even though it's not according to God's plan. You're not walking in the standard of God. You're not walking in obedience to God, but you're delusional. And you really think it's going to work. Girl. Because of that nigga, I got saved for real. It is so important. It is so important that we do away with being idolaters. And we, in America, we are a people of idolatry. And idolatry is not just a man or a woman. Social media, it's money, it's fame, it's followers on TikTok. Speaking of which, I really do appreciate hitting over 100K followers. I really do. Thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. But I'm also wise enough to know that all 122,000 of y'all are not watching me with a pure heart, okay? Listen. Jesus was popping back in the day. Do you hear me? He was healing people, casting out devils, setting people free, feeding the 5,000. He fed 5,000 men with a couple of pieces of bread and fish, and that was not including women and children. He had a following, and he also had a following of people who followed him for the wrong reasons. So, babe, you got to be wise as a serpent and gentle as a dove out here. But I am appreciative. And whether you watching me for the right reasons, the wrong reasons, or you one of those weirdos, you just waiting to see the day that I die, whatever the case may be, welcome. But I say that, girlfriend, because I know there's some things on your heart that you really, 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 really want. And you got to make sure that your heart is in the right place, that you're asking for the right reasons. And if you find yourself, that's the only thing running through your head, that is your only focus, whether it's a hustle and bustle, a relationship, a baby, a business, money, whatever the case may be, that you are truly leaving it at the feet of Jesus and you are walking in obedience. Because if it is according to his will and you are in the right time frame for that to manifest, it will. He will give it to you. It blesses him to bless you. He withhold no good thing from you. Getting caught up in idolatry is so easy, y'all. There's been several instances I had to repent because of idolatry. Those close to me who I valued and respected and honored, who, for instance, I would have a dream. God would give me a dream about the person, and that person would tell me, oh, that's just the devil. It was never the devil. It was God warning me about that person. And I would discard what God told me and take on what a human told me. And I had to pay some hard lessons for that. And God said, have no other gods before me. That's that nigga. That's your children. That's your business, your money, your input and thoughts, yourself. Because one thing about a narcissist, they make themselves gods, their own gods. So tonight, I just want you to really ask God to check your heart. And that's what I've been teaching with my girls. Ask God to check your heart where you are guilty of idolatry and whatever that is. And you just repent and ask him to help you with that, to loose the lustful desire to have that and want him more, and for him to be number one in your life. Period. I promise you, being idolatrous, being delusional, desperate, and disobedient, you're going to have a hard season, baby. You're going to have a hard season because you're going to have to reap that. We reap what we sow, y'all. So I hope that bless y'all tonight. I love y'all, and I will check in with y'all soon.